I'm packing for a trip to Turkey. I lived in Istanbul for 3 years from 2010 to 2013 and left in confusion in the midst of the Gezi Park protests.
İstanbul Gezi Parkı'na dün yapılan polis müdahalesinin ardından gergin bir gece yaşandı. İstanbul'un değişik semtlerinde toplananlar Taksim'e yürümek istedi.
I actually visited Turkey for the very first time in the summer of 2006. I was an undergraduate at the University of Washington in Seattle at the time. It was part of my earlier attempt to understand the human condition through exploring cultures outside my own upbringing. We often travel for a sense of excitement and perhaps even to escape from the mundane. The mental traveler, ideally, is an explorer of the mind, a seeker of possibilities, sojourning for understanding, self-discovery, and recovery. It's not that we should all just quit our jobs and become wanderers, but we can easily lose sight of who we truly are when we only pursue material achievements and status. In order for us to rediscover who we are, we need the time and space to explore. On the other hand, traveling, although exciting, does not necessarily open one up to a deeper sense of freedom. Whether we wish to uncover an inner sense of liberation that we all possess is a personal choice. Crossing over oceans and continents, traveling can be quite unsettling and exciting at the same time. We can never break through our suppositions without being steeped in the experience of the present moment. Any movement that initiates a change of perspectives, whether it be engaging with someone who holds a completely different point of view, or visiting a place where we have never been, gives our mind the opportunity to glimpse into the unknown. Within the realm of the unknown is where we often come face to face with the unseen side of ourselves. Of course, it's not that Turkey is completely foreign to me. The last time I visited was 5 years ago in 2018. I miss my friends and miss the atmosphere I grew to dislike while I was a resident there, and then grew to appreciate again through finally embracing my experiences. This is my 5th visit to Turkey. You can say that Turkey is my second home. Sometimes, traversing the same territories once again can show us new things about ourselves. The endless possibilities of life reveal itself through our ability to view things with an ever-widening perspective. This is one of the reasons why I revisit Turkey over and over again. I'm obviously in love with this country, the people and their hospitality, and I'm very grateful for the new perspectives I gain each time I visit. Now that my travels in that part of the world has been brought up, I would also like to mention my surprise visit to Bulgaria in 2006. I made some new friends in the language program I was attending in Istanbul, and we ended up taking a bus to Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, and from Sofia we were able to visit Veliko Tarnovo, the historic and cultural capital of Bulgaria and its surrounding regions. We also had a chance to stay in a friend of friend's traditional mountain cabin, of which, unfortunately, I do not have any photos of. But I remember the cabin was situated right outside of a small village. There was no electricity, and the night was pretty cold, even though it was in the middle of June. I remember shivering in the middle of the night on a wooden bed. The mountains in Bulgaria resemble so much of the mountains in North Carolina. Life is one big journey made up of many smaller journeys, and all we have to do is to be open to new connections and experiences. Saint John of the Cross, the author of Dark Night of the Soul, had once mentioned, "As a traveler into strange countries goes by ways strange and untried, relying on information derived from others, and not upon any knowledge of his own, it is clear that he will never reach a new country but by new ways which he knows not, and by abandoning those he knew. So in the same way the soul makes the greater progress when it travels in the dark, not knowing the way. But inasmuch as God himself is here the guide of the soul in its blindness, the soul may well exult and say, in darkness and in safety, now that it has come to a knowledge of its state." We often learn through the eyes of others before we experience things for ourselves, such as through stories conveyed in novels, news, and travelogues. Our minds fill in the spaces with our own conjectures until we make the effort to immerse ourselves in other realities. Far from inflating our sense of self-worth or to assert a sense of superiority, we should seek experience, a type of knowledge of ourselves, in order to help us become less self-absorbed. It is a process of becoming more mature, more responsible for our own perspectives, emotions, behavior, and overall well-being. Life is a cycle of experiencing, failing, learning and unlearning, of consolidating concepts and dissolving deeply held biases. It is difficult to feel connected on a deeper level if we have not begun the journey of self-discovery, because within the space of our ignorance is where possibilities lie. A reaching out to the unknown enables us to dissolve the limits we have once placed upon ourselves. It is rather like taking our blinders off. Unless if our eyes are opened and steps are taken to explore the space of ignorance, we cannot begin to break away from our limited perspectives, this glass darkly, indeed. It is this dualistic mind that imprisons us in the illusion of judgment and fear. Truth is, we're all interconnected, whether we realize it or not. And all of us possess innate goodness. We're all born with goodness and infinite potential. When we have the chance to discover and experience a wider context, we become more and more conscious and compassionate. Possibilities and expansiveness make us feel more alive, and the process of understanding leads to bonding, which enables us to let go of our self-centeredness. Our world seems to be getting smaller every day through the expansion of technology and the internet, but we're not necessarily becoming more connected. So why this distance when we're actually all cut from the same cloth? Instead of wasting energy on fighting each other, why don't we focus on communicating and reconnecting with ourselves and one another? Why not make our tiny home, a place here we call Earth, a better place for all?